Welcome to Norway, a land where glaciers have carved out masterpieces over millions of years, where Viking legends still echo through the mountain valleys, and where modern Scandinavian culture blends harmoniously with unspoiled nature. Stretching along the western edge of the Scandinavian peninsula, Norway boasts over 25,000 kilometers of rugged coastline, punctuated by dramatic fjords that UNESCO has declared World Heritage Sites. From the cosmopolitan charm of Oslo to the otherworldly landscapes of Swalbar, from the architectural marvels of Bergen to the fishing village poetry of the Lofoten Islands, each destination tells a unique story of geological wonder, cultural richness, and human resilience. The Norwegian people have mastered the art of living in harmony with their dramatic landscape, creating a society that values sustainability, community, and the profound connection between humanity and nature. Their concept of friluftsliv, literally meaning free air life, isn't just a hobby, it's a way of being that we'll explore throughout our journey. But my question to you, what attracts you most to Norway? Is it the chance to witness the midnight sun, the desire to stand under cascading waterfalls, or perhaps the dream of experiencing the deep silence of the Arctic wilderness? Don't forget to subscribe and ring the notification bell to discover the most amazing destinations in the world. And check out the links in the description below for exclusive deals on flights and accommodation, making your Norway dream affordable and memorable. Now let's explore the most spectacular cities and places in Norway. Bergen. Let's begin our Norwegian odyssey in Bergen, often called the gateway to the fjords, and once the heart of medieval Europe's most powerful trading empire. Nestled between 7 majestic mountains on Norway's southwestern coast, Bergen sits like a colorful jewel beside the Bifjord, approximately 480 kilometers northwest of Oslo. Bergen's unique geography creates a natural amphitheater where mountains embrace the city, while the North Sea provides dramatic weather that locals proudly call Bergen rain. This coastal position blessed Bergen with one of Europe's busiest ports and created the perfect launching point for fjord exploration. The city's location at 60 degrees 23 N latitude places it in the path of the Gulf Stream, moderating what would otherwise be a harsh climate. The cultural tapestry of Bergen weaves together over 950 years of history. Founded in 1070 by King Olav Kyrre, Bergen became the capital of Norway and remained so for centuries. The city's soul lives in Bergen, those iconic wooden buildings lining the harbor that have witnessed the rise and fall of the mighty Hanseatic League. These colorful structures aren't just pretty facades. They're living museums where German merchants once controlled northern European fish trade, establishing Bergen as one of medieval Europe's most important commercial centers. Bergen's development story reads like an epic novel of resilience and reinvention. The Hanseatic period, 1351–750, established the city's commercial DNA, but Bergen refused to remain trapped in medieval amber. The discovery of North Sea oil in the 1960s transformed Bergen into Norway's energy capital, while maintaining its cultural identity as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. The city weathered numerous fires, including devastating blazes in 1702 and 1916, each time rebuilding with determination that reflects the Norwegian spirit of dugnadsand, community cooperation. Today's Bergen successfully balances cutting-edge technology companies with traditional fish markets, creating a dynamic urban environment that honors its past while embracing the future. Bergen stands as Bergen's crown jewel, but the city offers layers of discovery. The Flåm funicular railway carries visitors 320 meters above sea level to Mount Flåm, where panoramic views reveal Bergen's 7 mountains and countless islands scattered across the fjord like nature's confetti. The fish market, Fisketorget, buzzes with activity where vendors sell everything from Arctic king crab to cloudberries, creating a sensory symphony of Norwegian coastal life. Bergen's cultural scene thrives in venues like the KODE art museums, housing one of Scandinavia's largest art collections, including works by Edvard Munch and Picasso. The Bergen International Festival transforms the city each spring into a celebration of music, theater, and dance that attracts artists and audiences from around the globe. This historic port city combines medieval Hanseatic architecture with modern Norwegian culture, offering visitors stunning mountain views, world-class museums, and authentic Nordic experiences. Bergen serves as your perfect introduction to Norwegian fjord country while providing urban amenities and cultural richness that create lasting memories. Stavanger. Stavanger, where Norway's petroleum industry transformed a quiet cathedral town into the country's energy capital. Located on the southwestern coast, at the mouth of the Fjord, Stavanger represents the fascinating intersection of ancient history and modern prosperity. Stavanger's geographic advantage stems from its strategic position, where 4 major fjords converge with the North Sea. This location provided natural harbors that attracted settlements for over 8,000 years, while the nearby continental shelf holds the oil reserves that revolutionized Norway's economy. The city sits on relatively flat coastal plain, unusual for Norway, making it more accessible than many Norwegian destinations. The cultural identity of Stavanger reflects this duality between ancient and ultramodern. The city proudly maintains Gammel Stavanger, Old Stavanger, Northern Europe's largest collection of wooden buildings from the 18th and 19th centuries. These pristine white houses with their characteristic shutters and gardens create a living museum where cobblestone streets echo with footsteps of merchants, fishermen, and sailors who built Norway's maritime heritage. Stavanger's foundation, around 1125, centered on its magnificent cathedral, which remains one of Norway's best-preserved medieval churches. For centuries, the city thrived on fishing, shipping, and sardine canning. At one point, Stavanger produced more canned sardines than anywhere else in the world. The discovery of oil in the North Sea in 1969 changed everything. Stavanger became Norway's petroleum capital, attracting international companies and creating prosperity that transformed the region. However, the city managed this transition thoughtfully, using oil wealth to preserve historical areas while building world-class modern facilities. This balance between preservation and progress exemplifies Norwegian values of sustainable development. Stavanger Cathedral stands as Norway's oldest cathedral, its Romanesque and Gothic architecture telling stories of 900 years of Norwegian Christianity. The nearby Norwegian Petroleum Museum offers interactive exhibits that explain how oil extraction works and its impact on Norwegian society, fascinating even for non-technical visitors. But Stavanger's crown jewel lies beyond the city limits, Preikestolen Pulpit Rock. This massive cliff formation rises 604 meters above Fjords, creating one of Norway's most photographed natural landmarks. The relatively moderate 8-kilometer round-trip hike rewards adventurers with views that define the Norwegian experience, dramatic fjords stretching toward distant mountains under ever-changing Nordic skis. The Fjords itself offers boat tour that reveal waterfalls cascading from impossible heights, including the famous Hengenfossen. These waters reflect granite cliffs so perfectly that visitors often struggle to distinguish reality from reflection. This dynamic city demonstrates how Norway successfully balances industrial development with historical preservation and natural beauty. Visitors experience everything from medieval architecture to modern petroleum museums, while Preikestolen provides one of Scandinavia's most spectacular hiking adventures and photography opportunities. Oslo. Oslo, Norway's vibrant capital, where 1,000 years of history meets cutting-edge Scandinavian design. Positioned at the head of the Oslofjord and surrounded by forested hills, Oslo embodies the Norwegian balance between urban sophistication and natural accessibility. Oslo's geography creates a unique capital city experience where downtown offices sit just minutes from hiking trails and ski slopes. The Oslofjord stretches 100 kilometers from the Skagerrak Strait, providing Oslo with maritime access, while the surrounding Marka forests offer over 2,600 square kilometers of recreational wilderness. This positioning allows residents and visitors to experience both cosmopolitan culture and pristine nature without traveling far. The cultural landscape reflects Norway's evolution from Viking kingdom to modern welfare state. Oslo showcases Scandinavian design principles where functionality meets beauty, creating spaces that prioritize human well-being and environmental harmony. The city's commitment to sustainability shows in everything from electric public transportation to green building requirements that make Oslo a global model for urban environmental responsibility. Founded around 1040 by Harald Hardrada, Oslo served as Norway's capital through various incarnations. The medieval city was rebuilt multiple times, including after the devastating 1624 fire when Danish-Norwegian King Christian IV relocated and renamed it Christiania. The name returned to Oslo in 1925 as part of Norway's cultural independence movement. The 20th century brought dramatic changes as Norway discovered oil wealth and developed its distinctive welfare state model. Oslo transformed from a modest Scandinavian capital into a global city while maintaining its commitment to equality and environmental stewardship. The city's development philosophy emphasizes quality of life over quantity of growth, creating urban spaces that consistently rank among the world's most livable. The Oslo Opera House exemplifies Norwegian architectural innovation. Visitors can walk on its slanted roof while enjoying fjord views and architectural details that blur the line between building and landscape. Inside, world-class performances showcase Norwegian and international artistic excellence. The Viking Ship Museum houses the world's best-preserved Viking ships, including the magnificent Oseberg ship from 834 AD. These vessels tell stories of Norwegian maritime prowess and the seafaring culture that connected medieval Scandinavia with the wider world. The nearby Norwegian Folk Museum displays traditional stave churches and historical buildings that preserve rural Norwegian heritage. Modern art enthusiasts gravitate toward the Munch Museum, home to the world's largest collection of Edvard Munch's works, including multiple versions of The Scream. The new museum building, opened in 2021, creates a stunning architectural statement on Oslo's waterfront. Vigeland Sculpture Park contains over 200 sculptures by Gustav Vigeland, creating the world's largest sculpture park by a single artist. These bronze and granite figures explore human emotions and relationships in settings that integrate art with Oslo's natural landscape. Norway's capital successfully combines historical preservation with modern innovation, offering visitors everything from Viking artifacts to contemporary architecture. The city's unique geography allows easy access to both urban cultural attractions and natural recreation areas, embodying the Norwegian lifestyle that values both sophisticated culture and outdoor adventure. Riani, Lofoten Islands. The Lofoten Islands, where the fishing village of Riani creates postcard-perfect scenes of traditional Norwegian coastal life. Located 168 kilometers north of the Arctic Circle, Riani sits in Moskenes municipality at the southwestern tip of the Lofoten archipelago. The Lofoten Islands rise dramatically from the Norwegian Sea like a 160-kilometer-long wall of granite peaks and pristine beaches. Riani occupies a particularly stunning position where the Rianefjord cuts between towering mountains, creating a natural harbor that has sheltered fishing boats for over 1,000 years. The village sits at 67 degrees 56 N latitude, yet the Gulf Stream moderates temperatures, creating surprisingly mild conditions for such a northern location. This geographic positioning creates unique phenomena that define the Arctic experience. During summer months, May to July, the midnight sun never sets, bathing the landscape in golden light that photographers dream about. Winter brings the opposite extreme, polar night from December to January, but also the magical aurora borealis dancing across star-filled skies. The culture of Riani reflects deep connections between humans and the sea that have sustained communities here for millennia. Traditional red fishermen's cabins called råbur dot the coastline, many now converted into authentic accommodations where visitors sleep in the same buildings where Arctic cod fishermen once rested between fishing expeditions. This preservation of traditional architecture maintains cultural authenticity while providing unique travel experiences. Riani's history intertwines with the annual Arctic cod migration that brings fish from the Barents Sea to spawn in Lofoten's waters each winter. This phenomenon, called the Lofotfisk, created one of the world's most important seasonal fisheries. Historical records from the 12th century describe massive fishing operations that employed thousands of fishermen and supported communities throughout northern Norway. Traditional fishing methods evolved over centuries to match Arctic conditions. The distinctive A-frame drying racks called H-gel still line Riani's shores, where cod are hung to dry in Arctic winds, creating stockfish that sustained Norwegian communities through harsh winters and provided valuable export products to European markets. Modern development in Riani focuses on sustainable tourism that preserves traditional culture while providing economic opportunities for local residents. The village maintains its authentic character by limiting development and emphasizing experiences that connect visitors with genuine Lofoten heritage. Riani offers hiking opportunities that range from gentle walks to challenging mountain ascents. The hike to Bergen provides panoramic views over the village and surrounding fjords that appear in countless travel photographs. From this vantage point, visitors understand why National Geographic called Lofoten the most beautiful place on Earth. The nearby village of Fjords preserves an entire 19th century fishing station, designated as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Original buildings, boats, and equipment show exactly how traditional Lofoten fishing communities operated during the height of the Arctic cod fishery. Kvalvika Beach offers one of Norway's most spectacular hiking destinations, a pristine Arctic beach accessible only by foot. The 3-kilometer hike leads to white sand beaches framed by towering peaks, creating scenes that seem impossible at this latitude. Wild camping is permitted, allowing visitors to experience the midnight sun or northern lights in complete solitude. These Arctic islands offer unique combinations of dramatic mountain scenery, traditional fishing culture, and natural phenomena like midnight sun and northern lights. Visitors experience authentic Norwegian coastal heritage while enjoying some of the world's most spectacular landscapes, all preserved within sustainable tourism practices that maintain cultural authenticity. Otter. Otter, a charming town nestled at the southern end of the Fjord, Norway's second longest fjord. This small community of about 7,000 residents has become famous worldwide as the starting point for the challenging hike to Trolltunga, one of Norway's most spectacular rock formations. Otter sits at the confluence of the Fjord and several smaller fjords, surrounded by some of Norway's most dramatic mountain scenery. The town's position at the base of the Hardangervidda Plateau, Europe's largest mountain plateau, creates a unique environment where fjord and mountain ecosystems meet. Steep valleys carved by ancient glaciers rise over 1,000 meters on all sides, creating a natural amphitheater that protects the town while providing access to highland adventures. The Fjords system stretches 179 kilometers from the North Sea, with Otter marking the point where the main fjord branches into smaller arms. This geography created ideal conditions for the fruit farming that has made the Hardanger region famous throughout Norway. Apple and cherry orchards cascade down mountainsides, creating spectacular spring blooms that contrast beautifully with snow-capped peaks. Otter's cultural identity reflects the Norwegian principle of allemannsretten, the right to roam freely in nature. This cultural value, combined with the town's spectacular natural setting, has transformed Otter from an industrial center into a premier destination for adventure tourism, while maintaining its authentic small-town Norwegian character. Otter's modern history began with the development of hydroelectric power in the early 1900s. The abundant waterfalls and steep terrain provided ideal conditions for power generation, leading to the establishment of industrial facilities that produced calcium carbide and ferroalloys. The massive Ringedalsvatnet reservoir, created by damming mountain streams, demonstrates how Norwegians harnessed their dramatic landscape for economic development. The industrial period brought prosperity, but also environmental challenges that the community addressed through innovative cleanup and restoration projects. Today, Otter showcases how industrial towns can successfully transition to sustainable tourism economies while preserving both industrial heritage and natural beauty. Trolltunga stands as Otter's crown jewel, a horizontal rock formation jutting 700 meters above Lake Ringedalsvatnet. The challenging 28-kilometer round-trip hike typically takes 10-12 hours, but rewards determined hikers with views that define the Norwegian outdoor experience. The formation's name means Troll's Tongue, reflecting Norwegian folklore that sees mythical creatures in dramatic landscape features. The hike to Trolltunga traverses diverse ecosystems, from fjord-level valleys through birch forests to high mountain terrain above the tree line. Proper preparation is essential. Norwegian authorities emphasize that this hike requires good fitness, appropriate equipment, and respect for rapidly changing mountain weather conditions. The Hardanger region offers gentler alternatives for visitors seeking fjord beauty without extreme hiking. The Norwegian scenic route Hardanger provides spectacular driving experiences past waterfalls, fruit farms, and traditional stave churches. The route includes stops at Voringsfossen waterfall, which plunges 182 meters into the Mabedalen Valley, creating mist clouds visible from kilometers away. This fjord town serves as the gateway to some of Norway's most challenging and rewarding outdoor adventures, particularly the famous Trolltunga hike. Visitors experience the transition from industrial heritage to adventure tourism while enjoying spectacular fjord scenery and traditional Norwegian mountain culture. Longyearbyen, Svalbard. Longyearbyen, the northernmost town in the world, located on Svalbard at 78 degrees 13 N latitude. This remarkable community exists in conditions so extreme that they challenge our understanding of human settlement and create experiences impossible anywhere else on the planet. Longyearbyen sits on the Svalbard archipelago, roughly 1,300 kilometers from the North Pole, where the Arctic Ocean meets the Greenland Sea. The town occupies a valley surrounded by colorful mountain formations that reveal millions of years of geological history in striped rock layers. Permafrost extends hundreds of meters below ground, creating construction challenges that require innovative engineering solutions. The geographic position creates extreme seasonal variations that define life in Longyearbyen. Polar night lasts from late October to mid-February, while the midnight sun shines continuously from mid-April to late August. These conditions create unique ecosystems where Arctic foxes, Svalbard reindeer, and polar bears have adapted to survive in one of Earth's harshest environments. Svalbard's culture reflects the international cooperation established by the 1920 Svalbard Treaty, which grants Norway sovereignty while allowing citizens of signatory nations equal rights to live and work there. This unique legal status has created a multicultural community where Norwegian, Russian, Thai, German, and other nationalities work together in conditions that require cooperation for survival. Longyearbyen's history began with American entrepreneur John Munro Longyear, who established coal mining operations in 1906. The town grew around mining infrastructure designed to function in permafrost conditions, creating architectural solutions still visible today. Soviet mining operations at nearby Barentsburg added Russian elements to Svalbard's cultural mix, while scientific research stations brought international researchers studying Arctic climate and ecosystems. Modern Longyearbyen balances mining heritage with research and tourism. The University Center in Svalbard, UNIS, conducts cutting-edge research on climate change, Arctic biology, and polar technology. The Global Seed Vault, nicknamed the Doomsday Vault, preserves crop genetic diversity in permafrost conditions that provide natural refrigeration for humanity's agricultural heritage. The town operates under unique regulations that reflect Arctic conditions. Residents cannot be buried in Longyearbyen because bodies don't decompose in permafrost. Cats are prohibited to protect Arctic bird populations. Most famously, residents must carry rifles when leaving town because polar bears pose real danger. These magnificent predators outnumber humans on Swalbar. The Svalbard Museum tells the story of Arctic exploration, whaling history, and polar bear ecology through exhibits that help visitors understand this extreme environment. The museum's collection includes artifacts from failed Arctic expeditions and successful polar research, creating sobering appreciation for the challenges of Arctic survival. The Global Seed Vault offers guided tours that explain how this facility protects agricultural biodiversity by storing seeds from around the world in conditions designed to preserve them for centuries. The vault's mission becomes increasingly important as climate change threatens crop varieties worldwide. Longyearbyen's abandoned Soviet mining town of Pyramiden provides haunting insights into Arctic industrial history. Tour of this preserved Soviet settlement reveal how people lived in extreme isolation, with buildings, equipment, and personal belongings left exactly as residents abandoned them in 1998. This unique Arctic community offers experiences impossible anywhere else on Earth, from polar bear encounters to visits to the Global Seed Vault. Visitors gain profound appreciation for human adaptability and the importance of Arctic ecosystems while experiencing the extreme beauty and challenges of life at the world's northernmost settlement. Trondheim. Trondheim, Norway's ancient capital and spiritual heart. Founded by Viking King Olav Tryggvason in 997 AD, Trondheim served as Norway's capital for centuries and remains the coronation site for Norwegian monarchs. This historic city of 200,000 residents sits at the mouth of the Nidelva River, where fresh water meets the Trondheim Fjord. Trondheim's strategic position at 63 degrees 26 N latitude placed it at the center of medieval Norwegian power. The city sits where the Nidelva River creates a natural harbor protected by surrounding hills, while fertile valleys provided agricultural resources that supported royal courts and religious institutions. This geography made Trondheim the natural choice for Norway's medieval capital and remains central to its identity today. The cultural landscape reflects over 1,000 years of Norwegian history concentrated in one location. Medieval streets follow patterns established by Viking settlers, while wooden buildings showcase distinctive Trondheim architecture adapted to central Norwegian climate conditions. The city's role as Norway's religious center continues today, with Nidaros Cathedral serving as the national sanctuary where Norwegian kings and queens are crowned. Trondheim's foundation story intertwines with Norway's conversion to Christianity. King Olav Tryggvason established the city as a political and religious center, while his successor, Saint Olav Haraldsson, made it the destination for medieval Europe's most important pilgrimage route. Saint Olav's shrine in Nidaros Cathedral attracted pilgrims from across northern Europe, creating prosperity that funded magnificent architectural projects. The medieval period established Trondheim's distinctive wooden architecture, with buildings constructed using traditional Norwegian techniques adapted to local conditions. The colorful wooden buildings along the Nidelva River, known as the Breathtaking wharf buildings, represent some of Northern Europe's best preserved medieval commercial architecture. Modern development has carefully preserved Trondheim's historical character while accommodating growth as a regional center and university town. The city's approach to urban planning emphasizes sustainability and livability, creating spaces that honor historical heritage while meeting contemporary needs. Nidaros Cathedral stands as Scandinavia's largest medieval building and Norway's national sanctuary. Construction began in 1070 over St. Olav's tomb, creating a Gothic masterpiece that took over 200 years to complete. The cathedral's intricate stone carvings, rose window, and royal regalia display tell the story of Norwegian Christianity and monarchy through architectural details and historical artifacts. The Archbishop's Palace Museum, adjacent to the cathedral, houses the Norwegian crown regalia and medieval artifacts that illuminate Trondheim's role as Norway's spiritual and political center. The museum's collection includes items from royal coronations and religious ceremonies spanning nearly 1,000 years. Gammelbybro Old Town Bridge provides the classic view of Trondheim's colorful wharf buildings reflecting in the Nidelva River. These restored buildings now house restaurants, shops, and cultural venues while maintaining their historical appearance and architectural integrity. The Kristiansand Fortress, built in the 1680s, offers panoramic views over Trondheim and the surrounding fjord. The fortress played crucial roles in defending Norway against Swedish invasions and now serves as a symbol of Norwegian independence and resilience. This ancient capital combines 1,000 years of Norwegian history with modern innovation, offering visitors everything from magnificent medieval architecture to cutting-edge technology research. Trondheim provides deep insights into Norwegian cultural development while serving as a gateway to northern Norway's natural wonders. Flam. Flam, a tiny village that hosts one of the world's most spectacular railway experiences. Nestled at the inner end of the Ålesund, a branch of the massive Sognefjord, Flam demonstrates how Norwegian engineering conquered impossible terrain to create transportation infrastructure that doubles as tourist attractions. Flam sits at sea level in a narrow valley where the Flam River, Flamselvi, meets the Ålesund. Towering mountains rise over 1,400 meters on all sides, creating a dramatic amphitheater of waterfalls, hanging valleys, and snow-capped peaks. The village's position provides access to Sognefjord, Norway's longest and deepest fjord, which stretches 204 kilometers inland from the coast. The extreme terrain that surrounds Flam created both challenges and opportunities for human settlement. While the narrow valley floor limited agricultural development, the abundant waterfalls provided hydroelectric power, and the deep fjord waters created natural harbors for boats that couldn't reach Flam by land routes. The cultural landscape reflects the ingenuity required to live in such dramatic terrain. Traditional Norwegian farming techniques adapted to steep mountainsides through terraced fields and seasonal migration patterns that moved livestock between valley floors and high mountain pastures. This transhumance culture, called Fjordbruk, created the network of mountain farms and hiking trails that visitors enjoy today. Flamsbana, completed in 1940 after 20 years of construction through some of the world's most challenging terrain. This engineering marvel descends 863 meters over just 20 kilometers, making it one of the world's steepest train lines. The railway was originally built to connect the Bergen railway with Sognefjord communities, but its spectacular route made it a tourist attraction in its own right. Construction of the Flam Railway required innovative engineering solutions, including 20 tunnels that spiral through solid rock to achieve manageable grades. Workers carved the route by hand using primitive tools and explosives, creating infrastructure that demonstrates Norwegian determination to connect communities despite geographic obstacles. The railway's completion transformed Flam from an isolated farming community into an accessible destination that showcases Norwegian fjord landscapes to international visitors. Today, the Flam Railway carries over 900,000 passengers annually, making it one of Norway's most popular tourist attractions. The Flam Railway journey itself constitutes Flam's primary attraction, offering views that change dramatically as the train climbs from fjord level to mountain plateau. The route passes Kajosfossen waterfall, where the train stops to allow passengers to photograph the 93-meter cascade thundering into the valley below. During summer months, traditional Norwegian folk music performances at the waterfall add cultural elements to the natural spectacle. The Ålesund offers boat tour that reveal the scale and beauty of Norwegian fjord landscapes from water level. These cruises provide perspectives on hanging waterfalls, abandoned mountain farms, and geological formations that demonstrate how glaciers carved Norway's dramatic terrain over millions of years. The nearby Stegastein viewpoint, accessible by scenic road, provides panoramic views over the Ålesund from 650 meters above sea level. The architectural viewing platform extends 30 meters from the mountainside, creating dramatic photo opportunities while demonstrating contemporary Norwegian design principles that integrate human infrastructure with natural landscapes. This small fjord village offers one of the world's most spectacular railway journeys while providing access to pristine Norwegian fjord landscapes. The Flam railway demonstrates Norwegian engineering ingenuity while creating tourist experiences that showcase the dramatic beauty of Sognefjord region. Ålesund. Our final destination brings us to Ålesund, often called Norway's most beautiful town, where Art Nouveau architecture creates a fairy tale setting amid spectacular coastal and mountain scenery. This coastal city of 65,000 residents sits on islands and peninsulas where the Storfjord meets the Norwegian Sea, creating a unique urban environment shaped by both human creativity and natural beauty. Ålesund occupies several islands connected by bridges and tunnels, creating a city built on and around water. The urban area spreads across Aspøy, Norway, and parts of Oxnøy Islands, while the mainland provides mountain backdrops that frame the city's distinctive skyline. This island geography creates numerous viewpoints where visitors can appreciate both architectural details and coastal panoramas. The surrounding Sunnmøre Alps rise directly from the fjord, creating some of Norway's most dramatic mountain-meets-sea landscapes. Peaks like Slågen and the Seven Sisters provide hiking opportunities with views across island-studded waters to distant mountains. The combination of accessible urban amenities with immediate access to pristine mountain wilderness makes Ålesund unique among Norwegian cities. The cultural landscape reflects maritime traditions adapted to modern tourism and fishing industries. Ålesund serves as one of Norway's most important fishing ports, while maintaining its architectural heritage and developing sustainable tourism that showcases both cultural and natural attractions. Ålesund's distinctive appearance resulted from tragedy transformed into triumph. The devastating fire of January 23, 1904, destroyed virtually the entire town center, leaving 10,000 residents homeless in winter conditions. However, this catastrophe created an opportunity for architectural renewal that transformed Ålesund into one of Europe's most coherent examples of Art Nouveau urban design. The rebuilt city center showcases over 400 Art Nouveau buildings that create architectural harmony while allowing individual creativity. Turrets, spires, and decorative elements drawn from Norwegian flora and fauna create a unique urban environment that UNESCO has recognized for its outstanding universal value. The Art Nouveau Center provides comprehensive introduction to Ålesund's architectural heritage through exhibits, guided tour, and multimedia presentations that explain how the city's distinctive appearance developed. The center occupies a restored Art Nouveau building that demonstrates the architectural principles visitors can observe throughout the city center. Mount Axler offers the classic panoramic view of Ålesund, accessible by car or via the 418 steps that local residents use for exercise. From the viewpoint, visitors understand how Ålesund's island geography creates its distinctive setting while appreciating architectural details that blend with natural surroundings. The Atlantic Sea Park, Atlanterhavsparket, showcases marine life from Norwegian coastal waters through exhibits designed to educate visitors about North Atlantic ecosystems. The aquarium's focus on local species provides insights into the marine environment that sustains Ålesund's fishing industry and coastal culture. Ålesund serves as the gateway to some of Norway's most spectacular scenic drives and natural attractions. The Atlantic Road connects small islands through bridges and causeways that create thrilling driving experiences with constant ocean views. Fjords, accessible via scenic mountain roads from Ålesund, offers UNESCO World Heritage fjord landscapes with waterfalls like the Seven Sisters and the Suter cascading from heights that seem to touch the clouds. This Art Nouveau architectural gem combines unique urban beauty with spectacular coastal and mountain scenery. Visitors experience how tragedy can inspire renewal while enjoying access to some of Norway's most famous fjords and scenic drives, all from a base that offers comfortable accommodations and excellent dining featuring fresh Nordic seafood. As our journey through Norway's 9 spectacular destinations comes to an end, we've traveled from the historic Hanseatic quarters of Bergen to the Art Nouveau masterpiece of Ålesund, from the midnight sun of the Lofoten Islands to the extreme Arctic conditions of Svalbard, from the ancient royal capital of Trondheim to the engineering marvel of the Flam railway. Each destination has revealed unique aspects of how humans can thrive in harmony with dramatic natural environments while preserving both cultural heritage and environmental integrity. Now let me ask you this thought-provoking question. Of all the destinations we've explored together, which one resonates most deeply with your own dreams and aspirations? Tell us which Norwegian destination captured your imagination and what lessons you're taking away from our virtual journey together. Your insights might inspire other travelers and help build the kind of community connections that make travel truly transformative. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell. We're constantly exploring new destinations, uncovering hidden gems, and sharing practical advice that makes world-class travel experiences accessible and affordable. Your subscription helps us continue creating detailed, authentic content that goes beyond surface-level tourism to explore the deeper connections between places, cultures, and the human experience. Until our next adventure together, keep exploring and keep dreaming. The world is vast, beautiful, and waiting for your unique perspective to discover its hidden treasures.